Welcome, Spartans, to Podcast of all of your favorite Halo podcasts and part of the Radium Gaming Network. I am your host, Drew, for the very last time in 2015, except for the stuff that we already recorded. And today I am joined by Oran.
Hey, everyone.
Krysta.
Sup.
David. And a very special guest, Sean Shark Finnegan.
Jump, 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 jump.
Yes! Jump, jump.
Yay.
I didn't want to ask you to do it. I was just kind of hoping you'd do it yourself, and now I'm really happy.
Have you ever done a chomp versus brap chomp off?
No, I wish.
That needs to happen. There needs to be a video.
We should organize that. 2016.
Get on that.
2016. Sorry. So, without further ado, we have lots to talk about, so let's get into it. Let's prepare to drop.
Hang on to your helmet.
Okay, and I'm gonna meeny, miny, mo. Got a lot of people to choose from. Ladies first, Krysta, what have you been up to this week?
Fallout, Star Wars, some more Fallout.
So how does that translate to Halo?
Star Wars is kind of like Halo.
It's like reverse Halo.
They both take place in space.
What?
Yeah.
There's,
Like lightsabers kind of look like
they
energy
both wear
swords.
suits.
Spoilers, Krysta.
The power armor kind of, you can pretend that you're wearing Mjolnir armor sometimes.
Meow.
Mjolnir, meow armor.
Meow meow.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get some Mjolnir mods or something on Xbox One for Fallout 4. I mean, right? Come on.
That would be
Come
awesome.
on.
I
Really?
want Master Chief as a companion.
All I want in Fallout 4...
They'd have to write it into the lore.
It from the Halo universe, if there's one thing I could pick from Fallout 4, just one thing, it'd be a warthog.
Driving around the wastes.
I mean, after playing Fallout 3 and a little bit of New Vegas, I was like, okay, this is cool, and fast traveling is fun, but where is my vehicle?
Let's
Where
just
are
drive
the
around the
vehicles?
glowing sea.
Oh, God, the warthog would be so much fun to rip through there. Well, cool. So, no Halo then. All right, well, we'll just skip you. Oren, what have you been up to, man?
So I've been making movies. I've been sleeping.
Halo movies? Halo sleeping?
And when I'm not sleeping, I'm making a movie. And yeah, that's all I've done.
A movie about sleep?
Don't hate me. I'm sorry, fans. I've let you down.
All right. Well,
We're the
Oren,
worst podcast ever.
Yeah, guys, I've been itching to play the Cartographer's Gift for ever since it came out, and I just haven't been able to play Halo. But I got 2 more days left in the shoot, and then we have a wrap day, and then Christmas, and then I'm home free. So 1 more week, guys.
Sweet.
I'm
Sweet.
interested in your movie. Is it a short, a feature?
It's about this jazz R&B singer, Mickey Howard. She's like an idol, and so they're filming here in Savannah, and I'm part of the transportation team and locations team. We could talk about it later. But,
So it's a documentary.
Yeah, is it a doc?
It's like a biopic,
Oh,
more like it's
interesting.
yeah,
Cool.
it's low budget biopic versus
Day
a
in the
documentary.
life type thing.
Yeah, like the actress is like reenacting her, and the real Mickey Howard was actually on set on Wednesday and Thursday last week.
Interesting.
You guys know me. I'm a big movies guy, so always
Oh, yeah.
interested in that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I do here in Savannah. So we'll have to talk after the show about that.
In the meantime, David, save us.
Hello.
Save us, please, David.
I have been playing Halo, unlike the rest of you slackers, which are working and you're studying. And not a whole lot. We sat down with Cartographer's Gift really today, and it's really good. I like it. I like the new maps. They look fantastic. Yeah. Oh yeah. Overgrown I think was the one I was playing today, and it's like
Sweet.
it's the remake of Plaza. Not remake. What do they call them?
I don't know. Reforging?
Remixes.
Remix.
Remix.
Oh, the remix.
That's the
Oh,
word.
I see.
Yeah, the remix
Yeah.
of Plaza. It's awesome. It's really, really good. Plaza's like my favorite map, and the fact that they remixed it, it's awesome. Yeah, it's really good. Other
else?
than that, I bought Shadow of Intent, but I haven't actually got a chance to read it yet. So
After
Yeah,
all
that
that
came
whining,
out.
after all that bitching about not being able to get it, and then as soon as you can get it, you're like, all right, I got it.
yeah, well,
I'm just going to put it on the shelf here.
I'm a one book guy at a time, so I have to
Oh,
finish
listen
my
up,
one,
ladies.
and then I'll go do it.
All you
Well,
female
you
books
finish
out
one and
there.
work on the other. I see how you are, David.
Exactly. I give each
don't
one the
stick with one
attention it
book.
deserves.
You have to have tons of books.
What if the books want to play together?
No, that's just
What
not
if the books
possible.
want to be read together?
That's disgusting, Krista.
All right. Well, are you liking it so far? Have you looked at it at all?
I have not looked at it at all. I've
come
downloaded
on.
it to my Kindle, and it's sitting beside me, but that's it.
I've had it.
That
I've had it
cover
since
art
it came
though.
out, and I read like the first page.
Well, you see, Drew, I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
I'll just give you loads of time, and then maybe eventually we'll
Like a
catch
head
up.
start?
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Did you finish
You're
Last
still gonna
Light
lap
yet?
me.
Drew's a little
Hey,
bit of a
wait.
slow reader.
We've moved on from Last Light. All right.
Fuck's sake, Drew.
I know how Last Light ends. That's all. That's all I got. All right. Well, Sean, since this is the first time you've been on our show and the first time we're getting to talk to you, what have you been up to in Halo ever?
Well, that
Tell
is
us
a big
everything.
question.
Yeah.
I think people who are familiar with my work at IGN know that I'm a huge Halo fanboy. I've been a big fan and like supporter of the series ever since the very beginning. I think I would put the franchise in the first couple of games right up there at the top of my list when it comes to best games ever made, you know, like right up there
Yeah.
with Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike and
Half-Life 1.
StarCraft and Warcraft, and yeah, I mean those are all right up there at the top of the list for me.
Yeah.
As for what I've been playing lately, it's been a lot of Halo 5. You know, I'm a big multiplayer guy. I think it satisfies my competitive need. I used to play professional Counter-Strike when I was like 16 years old, and so ever since I've kind of had this like really competitive need to kind of like play against people who are real good and be real good myself, and I think Halo is the game that I use to kind of facilitate that need. So I've been playing a lot of Halo 5, and I love the multiplayer. Unfortunately, I was a little disappointed with the campaign, as I'm sure a lot of people were out there. We talked a lot about it on Podcast Unlocked, the other podcast that deals a lot with Halo stuff.
It tries to.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been very excited about the way that the 343 has been taking care of the franchise, and all the content we've been getting free of charge lately
Sure.
with Halo 5 has made it a really awesome experience. So that's just what I've been spending most of my time doing when I get the chance.
Yeah. So, I have a quick question about, this is still kind of relevant to Prepare to Drop, so I thought I'd bring it up now. What's your history with the extended universe of Halo?
It's a little bit limited. I think, like any fan, I mean, not any fan, but I would say,
the average fan.
yeah, like most Halo fans, I would say know mostly about the lore via the games, right? And I am
Right.
that person. I haven't read any of the books. I have seen some of the extended,
Like the film stuff.
yeah,
the
like I've
Nightfall.
seen Nightfall.
We apologize.
I've seen,
we
yeah,
as
it's real
the
bad.
Halo fan community apologize collectively to anyone who watched Nightfall.
Oh, it's real difficult to watch that particularly. I thought Forward
It's
Unto Dawn
painful.
was pretty good.
Yeah,
as
it
a
holds
web
up
series
really well.
goes.
I gotta say about Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah,
It
like
holds
from
up.
a
It's like-
from a production quality standpoint, I think
Yeah.
like it sets the bar pretty high for a web series. I still don't know about Microsoft's sort of insistence on handling all of that stuff internally, because I mean, let's be honest, right? Like they're pretty good at it, and I get why they would want to do it, right? Halo's a huge franchise, a worldwide, global franchise that makes so much money for them. To let go of a little bit of the creative control and have it be in Hollywood's hands, that's a scary thought. And also, I'm sure it's probably not as profitable. But at the same time, like relinquishing a little bit of that control, I mean, me as a filmmaker, I would say that that's probably a better idea in the long run, because it's going to give fans better experiences. And I say that because, like, I want to see an awesome Halo movie. Like, all of the stories about Neil Blomkamp taking on the franchise early on, and about
Yep.
Microsoft not being able to strike the deals with the studios in the way that they wanted to be able to do that. Like, that's a super big bummer to me, and I would love to engage
But
with
it
the
sounds
universe in
right,
that.
right? It sounds like a learning experience that Microsoft went through, I would hope, for the benefit of the gaming industry. You know what I mean? Like, they went through that experience, and I'm sure everyone everywhere was watching going like, this is the one. This is the movie that should happen and should work and should succeed. And then when it didn't pay off, it didn't happen because of the, I don't want to say hubris, but like the perception that Microsoft had of like, look, we want to own this thing start to finish, and Hollywood's like, yeah, that's not exactly how that works here. And I don't know what Chris is doing, but it sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Krista, stop doing yoga during the shows.
It's relaxing.
Anyways, I would hope that people learned from that, right? Like, I mean, I don't think the Need for Speed movie benefited exactly, but if this Warcraft film is a success, I would hope that for some reason it might be because of the lessons learned from the dealings between Microsoft and Hollywood and how that didn't really play out. Because you've seen the short film that Neil Blomkamp made for Halo 3, right? The promotional stuff, Landfall.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
that looked amazing. I mean,
Totally.
It looked really good for the time.
and I mean that's the thing is, I think there are directors out there who, especially young ones, like myself, maybe, who have a really good sense of what the Halo universe is and who the characters are, and want to see that media or want to see those characters transcend the medium in which they're found. And I mean, they kind of have in ways, like you do see Chief in Forward Unto Dawn, but it's not quite there. It's not quite at the level it needs to be in order to really strike fans with the wonder that the games did. And I think in order to really do that, you need a Hollywood touch. I mean, I get it. Microsoft's real good at making the games, and they own the characters, and they made the characters, and they want to be able to control that process. But I feel like the best creative products are made collaboratively. And if they can find the right people to work with, they'll make something really incredible.
It's about trust, right? I mean, like look how well the books have done. Like Microsoft isn't publishing these books. They're getting quite a say, I'm sure, in what is written and how it's marketed and all that stuff. But they didn't make the books. They didn't make the comics. They helped like forge alliances and make the stuff happen. But they only can take real credit for these games because that's where Microsoft's forte is right now. And so I think you got to have the same amount of trust that you have with Marvel and Dark Horse and Tor Books and all that stuff with whoever, Universal, Paramount, MGM, just whoever kind of ends up taking the flag and running with it. You should give them that trust and then hope it all pays off. So we'll see. All right, well, fantastic prepare to drop, everybody. Good job, everyone.
Best Halo players ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly didn't play a lot of Halo either. I played a whole lot of Witcher, and then I've also been working my ass off with a new job. So let's get into some news, David. What do you got for us, man?
Loads of news since we haven't had a show in 2 weeks, so you can imagine there's lots of little things going on, happening.
There's like 4 news stories.
Shut up, Krysta.
Crazy.
Stop trolling my
give
news.
us all this stuff in 4 news stories. Go.
Okay. No, I'm not doing that. So, last weekend, when did it come out? Cartographer's Gift is out
last weekend.
Yeah,
not this weekend, but last weekend.
Last weekend. So that's the major big news. I'm sure everyone's aware of it. For the another second free update from 343.
Yeah, that's the second one.
So
yeah,
Cartographer's Gift, and I think the other one was something.
the Light and Dark,
Light and
Battle
Dark.
of Light and Dark.
That's
Battle.
They're just
Battle of
wasting all these
Shadow
great
and Light.
tires.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
They're not wasting them.
No, that's it. Yeah.
They're
There's-
using them.
They're great titles, but there's not like a, I don't know. I'm not really getting the theme. Like Cartographer's Gift makes sense for Forge, but I feel like Cartographer's Gift would have been a great name for, I don't know, something else.
You're so picky.
Damn it,
I know.
What do you want? It's just a
Well,
name.
I read Cartographer's Gift and I was like, dude, Forge, and it got me pumped. And then Battle
What
of
was the
Shadow
Battle
and
of
Light was
Shadow and
like,
Light for?
ooh, big team
It's one of the-
battle.
Yeah, big team
Oh.
battle. 4 new Forge maps /
Steroids.
343 community maps.
Which is essentially what we got again. We got some more extra
Yes.
maps.
Yeah.
Big team.
But anyway, I like the names. Good job, 343.
More maps.
Well done, Jeff.
We appreciate you, unlike Drew.
Yes, I'm a stodgy old bastard.
So with
What
this,
else? What else
we got loads of cool stuff. So essentially, the Spanger rocket launcher's back, which is yay, Spanger rocket
Hell
launcher.
yeah.
Have you guys used it?
No, I haven't got it yet. Have you?
Have I? No.
Oran's over
Mr.
here like, I
Never
don't even
playing
have a DMR
Xbox.
yet.
No, I don't have a DMR. Shut up.
Sean, do you have a DMR?
It's my favorite gum.
Like a skin DMR?
Oh, the actual
the-
weapon.
No, can you actually
Just,
use the gun in
Oh,
Warzone?
yeah. It's in my closet.
Is that where everything is kept? Is that where the rec packs are kept?
In your
Just a
closet.
big closet?
Yeah.
It's in
I
your,
have a trundle underneath my bed.
it's in your Foot Locker. It's Foot Locker, guys. Come on.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. All right, what else we got?
With that update, it came a whole lot of different stuff. Like we said, Forge is out. Yay, Forge. I'm not a forger myself. I don't know if you guys are. Krysta, did you dabbled with the Forge before?
I play with it a little bit, but I never make anything good.
Yeah. We
I
generally
like
just look
it.
people at
I
that.
try to dabble around, and I've actually made a map back in Halo 4, and I was very proud of it. And so I might try to recreate that.
All right, I'm gonna combo this Forge news with this other relevant Forge news. Reach is out, so Reach is backwards compatible, and we have Forge in Halo 5. So between the two things, somehow in the Podcast Evolve community, we need to bring back Mangoose.
Yay,
This
Mangoose.
needs to
Oh,
happen.
no.
We can't not have this in 2016. Mangoose is back. Hashtag Mangoose, and I want to see Mangoose 2 in Halo 5 somehow. So Sean, I'm gonna pitch this to you. You got to experience this sometime if you have some time playing Halo Reach, and get somebody who can forge it together.
Sean, mute your mic right now.
All right, so
I'll give you a signal when I turn it back on.
so
This isn't video.
I'll just tap you on the shoulder. All right, so with Mangoose, what you do is you build a small, let's say soccer field size field, that is completely in I guess
Enclosed.
enclosed. Yes, thank you. And then you put everybody on two teams on either end, and a mongoose in the middle. And the rules of the mongoose are it's a hill. It's a capturable hill. So the hill's attached to the mongoose. And it actually doesn't work in certain games like in Halo 4 because the mongoose goes too fast and the hill can't keep up with it. So you can actually drive out of the hill, and then the hill's like rubber banding to you. So it only really works in Reach right now. But both teams are equipped with golf clubs, and they act as gravity hammers. So you have everybody rushing to the mongoose. Somebody gets on the mongoose. Everybody's trying to hijack each other from the mongoose. And so the longer you're on the mongoose, obviously you're trying to work towards a score. And it goes back and forth, and people are just rushing around. It looks like children playing soccer, where the whole team is rushing towards the ball, like nobody's playing a zone or anything like that. And it is just utter mayhem, especially when the mongoose goes flipping across the
Flying
field.
and
Yeah, and everybody
gets
just
off
goes
the
chasing
map.
it.
That sounds awesome.
It is.
How do you
it
score?
is
By
so much
capturing
fun. Yeah,
the-
just hitting
Yeah,
a,
just-
a
You
just have to
certain amount.
drive
First
around in the
one,
mongoose.
first one to whatever point limit.
And what's really funny is we have a community member who's credited for this
Steve.
from down in Australia, Steve Doggin, and he made this, and we started playing it among the community. Then we started get to be a bigger community, and people knew our podcast and stuff. So we started encountering people from other communities. Well, we encountered this competitive Destiny team from right when Destiny was about to launch. So they're practicing game in Halo together to kind of form a hierarchy, he's the team captain and this guy's really good at this and that. So they're all dead serious going into this game of Mangoose with us. And we're just I'm yelling in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, Mangoose, get to the it's ridiculous. And these guys are over here playing it like it's football. They're dead serious. I'm all right, we're going to zone out. All right, I'm going to get the thing, come behind you guys, and then everybody blocks. And I was like, no, don't throw strategy into this. You're going to screw it up. You got to just rush at it. And the drunker you are, the more fun it is as well. So I highly recommend people
Like
trying
most
out
things in
Mangoose.
life.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, right?
Podcast Evolved does not condone underage drinking.
Like flying a plane in Grand Theft Auto.
that's a
Yeah,
mess.
so definitely check out Mangoose, dude. It's so much fun. And we're going to try to get it in Halo 5. Steve Doggin just got an Xbox One recently, and now that Forge is out, he's going to see what he can do. I know we don't have,
Yeah,
let's
we
see,
don't
there's
have
no gravity
hammers
hammer,
left.
there's no
But
golf
they're coming though.
They
In the-
gotta come, right? I
Well,
mean-
it was in the sprint.
If you can have Mario hop in a fucking Mercedes in Super Mario Maker, I think we can have gravity hammers
Oh,
in
yeah, it's
Halo 5
coming.
just Forge.
That's not how those things work, Drew.
No,
Patience.
those are two things that are directly
January
related.
update.
Super Mario
we're gonna
Maker and
get-
Forge are the same thing.
Exactly the same.
Okay.
All right, so
Back
All
to
right,
the news.
David.
thanks for that tangent, David.
Yeah,
I
okay.
appreciate it.
You just took my whole Reach, news
Yeah, sorry
story,
about
but
that.
whatever. That's fine, Drew.
Yeah, he was building to that.
You
But
can reach
fine.
back around for it if you want.
Oh,
oh
snap.
gosh.
Stupid Drew. So Reach is out, backwards compatibility. Yay! See, it
Yay.
just didn't deliver the way I wanted it to, Drew. Whatever, it's fine. I'm over it.
All of Halo's on Xbox One.
So there
Not yet.
is some Christmas rec packs out. Did you guys get them? You know the
Yeah,
promotional bumper.
the Santa thing
Yeah,
with the
that's cool.
Santa emblem.
Oh man, I don't think I have that.
It's
Oh,
great.
yeah. It's like
it's
pack.
My girlfriend thought it was adorable.
Does that go away if I don't open it? I guess I should open it
Nah.
like
I
right
think
now.
your
I
pack
doubt
always
it.
stays there.
It'll be there forever.
You can open
It's
it on the
okay.
website, dude. You don't have to have time to like get on the.
Oh, that's
on
true.
the-
Can I
yeah,
open
you
it on
can
my
do it.
phone?
You can do it from the website. From.
From
I don't
my
think
van?
there's a. I don't
Does it
think,
still have the cool animation though?
yeah, that's the only thing I think you're gonna be missing is the like.
Oh, is
Right.
it
Like
like?
exploding
Oh, is it like?
animation?
Is it like seasoned? Like, is it like confetti and like for like Christmas?
No,
Or is it
it
just like
the
the regular.
big rec packs. All right, so like normal rec packs just do the spinny card thing and then everything pops out. Big rec packs have like confetti and kids cheering and all that stuff. Like
Yay!
they make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Krista.
It's like Hearthstone.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. I didn't
I
want to
did.
drop that
Oh,
name.
I
but
thought
yeah.
you were saying that like when you opened to this one, like snow popped out
Nah.
and candy canes with elves or something.
No.
That would be amazing.
A reindeer doesn't come flying a banshee out of the.
Can we
screen.
have grunts dressed up like elves?
Yes.
That'd be cool.
That's terrible, Krista.
Why don't you ever like my ideas?
What are the? What are the?
I like your idea.
What are the?
I'd back
the,
it on Kickstarter.
The Covenant vehicles from Halo 2, the Revenants.
Oh yeah.
Is that what they were
No,
called?
the
that
Revenants
was
are
that was
Reach.
Reach.
No, the 3-man
The Prowler.
sleigh looking thing, sled
The
looking
broom.
thing.
Oh, I know what
In
you're
Halo
talking
2?
about.
The Prowler.
Yeah,
So
I know
like
what you're talking
Santa driving one of those with like
Is
reindeer.
Master
in front of
Chief
him?
Santa?
Yes. Confirmed. Okay, next. What's
What's
next?
next? What's
So-
next?
In these kind
It's
of
gonna
rec
be a
packs.
long one.
Yeah, I know. They have a long. Oh god, no. Brain frozen.
Don't think about it.
No, it works. Okay.
Oh,
So,
no, John.
There's these new rec cards now that are actually just rec points. So that's kind of like a new way, I guess, of giving you mongooses that you don't have to sell.
Yeah, that was my take
Yeah.
on it. Like
I agree.
Throw away mongooses.
343 is just throwing Rex at us that we're like, I don't want that, and then we sell them. So then they're like, we'll just give them the points.
Oh,
But
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like a
Weird.
card.
No
but
one
this is
wants
100
20
rec points.
mongooses.
No.
343.
No.
Not really. I mean, unless we're gonna play Mangoose in the middle of a Warzone map,
I'm not sure that works like that.
we'll just pretend.
That'd be a
You
terrible.
don't have
idea.
to have the hill attached to it. Yeah, everybody can just chase the guy on the Mongoose.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, moving on, more news. There is a. Oh, what am I thinking of? They have new.
Did we talk about the Tarzan trailer
I was-
last time?
No, I, don't
I
think
mentioned
so.
that last time, didn't
You said it in the group. Anyway, there's a Tarzan.
I?
trailer,
Oh, that
but,
was in the spoiler thing that's gonna come out later.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, as we talked about.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. There's a Tarzan movie trailer that had like music from Forward Unto Dawn. Did you catch?
Yeah,
this, Drew?
Sean, did you notice that?
No
you know the
sweat.
new Tarzan trailer with the big reveal Tarzan trailer. The song that they play in that trailer is the theme song from Forward Unto Dawn.
Awesome.
How weird is that?
I mean, actually, you see a lot of like music kind of. Just really
Yeah,
good
like-
music. You see it transcend a lot of media or go different places. Like the biggest one I can actually remember was the very first Man of Steel teaser that we saw.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
had that music from Lord of the Rings. That was like iconic,
right?
and it actually really, really made it work. But there's
It
like
did.
there's all sorts of little things like that. But actually, specifically to your example, no, I didn't see that. And also, I don't know
Oh,
what you're
guys,
talking about.
guys.
Tarzan. There's a movie trailer for Tarzan, like
Dude,
live action.
Tarzan. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's got
I
it's
must have missed
got
that.
Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
This already sounds awesome.
It looks
some
like
reason-
Christoph Waltz and Margot Robbie.
Yes.
Oh,
who-
okay.
the-
So I have heard about this. I just didn't know the trailer dropped. I love Margot
Skarsgård.
Robbie.
Skarsgård is Skarsgård from True Blood, right? Is Tarzan. It's pretty great. It's a good trailer. But yeah, the music is from Forward Unto Dawn, which really freaked me out. I remember
Speaking
when
of music,
the Requiem. Sorry, I got one. The Requiem
So
for a
before I
Dream
go-
song was everywhere. For
You gotta
Yeah.
go, Krista.
well,
Yes.
before I go real quick, I have a
Yes.
story. It's story time, guys.
Oh no.
Off-topic story time.
Sweet.
I was on
Alright.
my way to Star Wars at like 6 a.m.
Hey, don't spoil
and
anything.
we put on no, I won't. We put on John Williams radio for the Star Wars music
Nice.
on Pandora, and the Ghosts of Reach came on.
Yes.
Marty O'Donnell, John Williams,
Fantastic. Hey, they're right next to each other, man. In my opinion.
totes besties.
Yeah, they're real good.
All right, I gotta get going. So it was nice to meet you, Sean.
Yeah,
See you guys
absolutely, Krista. See you later.
Bye,
Have a good
Krista.
episode.
Good luck,
Bye,
Krista.
guys. Bye, bye,
I
bye,
miss
bye,
you
bye,
already.
bye.
Hey, Merry Christmas if we don't chat.
Okay,
Wait.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, viewers. I hope you get all of the Halo gifts.
Yay! All right, get out of here.
She got
So yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now we can start the
I don't
show.
know. All right. Welcome to. All right, what else you got, man?
Cortana's now available for Android and iPhone. So
Oh,
this
yeah,
is kind of
download
cool. Let's check that out.
That's cool.
I was
How
kinda
do I
interested
get
to
that?
see.
You just download it as an app.
Is it on the App Store? All right,
Yeah, just
cool.
search Cortana.
I'll
That's
check that out.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I've never kind of used any kind of voice activated stuff.
I've been using Siri a lot lately on set, like to answer text messages and look up stuff. So that's
Yeah,
kinda cool.
My phone, Android, OK Google, it's just the best. It is the best. It's so good. I use it for everything.
Yeah.
What else you
who's
got?
playing football today?
Yeah, on Amazon, the limited collector edition, that's the one with the statue, was reduced
Yeah.
down to $99. So that's still available, I think.
Permanently?
No,
Oh, cool.
no, I don't think it's a permanent drop.
Oh,
but
just through the holidays or something?
probably, yeah. It's on sale.
Huh.
So if anyone wants to go pick it up, that awesome.
I highly
people.
doubt that price will go back up. I mean, the game's been out for a minute now, so why would they limit it? You know what I mean? Like the same thing with the Halo 3, you know, the Halo 3 was all of a sudden everywhere. Like the helmet is everywhere. People's grandparents have it for some reason. Like the limited collector's edition, the legendary edition, was just everywhere. So I feel like maybe this didn't sell as much as they wanted, so they dropped the price, and I don't see that price going back up after this.
Because it was like $200 and something, wasn't it? $250?
I think it was $250. Yeah.
Oh
It
wow.
was $250. We did an unboxing of it on IGN.
Yeah, I got mine sitting in front of me. So, but
I got
don't
burned
know.
with limited collector's editions with Halo
So
3.
does that make you guys like not necessarily frustrated, but like
Yeah,
I
dude.
guess disappointed that you guys spent more than 50% more than what these people might be able to spend on it?
And then it dropped. Yeah, well, our comments section lost their mind when that came out. They got mad. When we posted that news, everybody jumped on it in the Facebook group and was just like, fuck, you know, this is bullshit. I just paid $250 a month ago for this, you know, and now I got this. Or some people getting late to the party buying it for $250 like a week before this happened. And
Oh man.
That
Yeah.
would suck.
yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but when it comes to, I mean, the truth is this is like threading a needle from the publisher's perspective. They think that it might sell, so they make X amount, and then if it doesn't, now you got them laying everywhere. When I worked at Best Buy, dude, we had limited collectors of like all kinds of stuff that on launch day you couldn't get the limited collector's edition of Mortal Kombat. Like it just wasn't happening. And then we got more shipments and we just had them laying around, and we were like, hey, please someone take this. Please take this. The Arkham Knight PS4 that was like when it first came out, people thought it was going to be super rare. So the actual Arkham Knight one, not the bundle. It was selling on eBay for like thousands of dollars, and we had 4 just chilling in our Best Buy for like 2 weeks. So you never know, you know.
Those are just the words for like marketing, really. I mean, nothing is
for
ever
sure.
really limited. There's always more.
Except for the Pit Boy, they'll never make more of that. Until they did, and then they were like, "Oh, never mind." So I don't know.
Those things are made of money. Money.
I'm really selective about what stuff I bought. I think so far in the last few years, Halo Reach, the Destiny Ghost, and now Halo 5. I kind of wish I would have got the Skyrim thing, but at the same time,
What was the
I
Skyrim
don't
thing?
know.
That just
That-
the dragon, was it?
yeah,
Yeah.
on the wall, and it looks really cool. But that also was everywhere. Like they're just everywhere. In every IGN video, there's one of those in the background.
Using the
All
pop-up
right.
tables and stuff.
What else we got, man?
There's these kind of new weird thing for the rec packs, where you can buy gold packs now and various amounts for different amounts of money.
So is this is legit?
This is
I thought
legit.
No,
was
this
like
is
a-
real.
I
Yeah.
thought this was a joke when I saw it.
No, it's real. I want to hear, Sean, are you familiar with this?
I mean, this is the first time hearing of it, but again, I've been kind of
Okay.
unplugged from gaming for, not
I'm
gaming,
gonna-
but the industry and its happenings for a few days
I,
now.
I saw what you
Ooh,
shared.
breaking news.
I saw what you shared last night about microtransactions in Destiny. So with that in mind, I want you to hear this. So you can get 3 gold packs for $10. You can get 5 for $15. There's a bunch of different tiers, so I'm going to skip up a bit. You can get 15 plus 5 free, so 20 gold packs for $45. And you can pay for, what is that, 47 gold packs for $100 if you want to.
That's
You
nuts
can
to me.
spend $99 on gold packs, on Warzone rec packs. How do you feel about that?
So, I have gone on the record many times before about microtransactions. I don't actually have like a philosophical philosophically, I'm not opposed to microtransactions just being in games, because I think that there are a lot of games out there where it makes sense. Like,
They need it. They need that income to pay the people to continue to work on the game.
right, but even just like the other side, like not even that kind of takes a developer approach, which I'm fine with. Their developers do make games, publishers do need to make money, and there is that need to, it's tough to kind of justify. Let's say, okay, BioShock Infinite costs $60, right? And you played that game once from beginning to end, and it takes
literally
you like
just once.
12 hours.
I never played it again.
But like, even if you played it 2, 3, 4 times and it took you that much every time, you're still only getting a max of like 36, 48, or 60 hours of gameplay from the game before you put it down. Maybe there are people out there who played it a ton more, who knows? But the point is, there are games out there where people are playing upwards of like 2,000 hours or 3,000 hours.
Yep.
And those, it doesn't make sense when you're a developer or publisher to have a game out there where people are playing it that much, but it still only costs them $60, because then you're losing out. You, the developer, the publisher.
Because you've invested enough to create thousands of hours of content.
Right. Like games like
Warzone.
Dota or Counter-Strike or Destiny is another great example of
Diablo.
Diablo, yeah. Warcraft, except that's different since it's a subscription model. But you get my point, right? There are these games that have thousands of hours of gameplay worth playing for players, and developers and publishers lose out when they don't make returns on that. So I understand the need to integrate microtransactions. My big problem is when those microtransactions begin to affect the gameplay experience specifically. So to me, like, in short, without knowing too much about these these sort of gold pack deals, as best I can understand, and I don't really play Warzone, straight out, like, I don't really play Warzone all that much.
So you're not familiar with how that works?
No, I mean, I'm familiar with how it works,
okay.
but I just don't play it. So
to
me, it impacts the gameplay less, because you only use the majority of those items that you get in those rec packs are items that are one-time consumable items that you use in Warzone, right?
Yeah.
So the only things I personally am really interested in those rec packs are sort of rare skins and emblems and armor. And that stuff is purely cosmetic, so I don't think that's that big of a deal. Also, I don't have to buy it. Just by playing the game, I do get these packs.
Right.
So there's an alternative way that, I basically doesn't really impact me. That said, I know the episode that you're referencing, I got visibly heated talking about microtransactions in Destiny, but that's, again, I think it's a different case, because to me that does directly impact the game experience and the gameplay.
I think you're right. Because that gives them access to things faster than a normal person would, and like at a pretty crazy rate. And then on the flip side, like if I spent $100 on or ducks, whatever the exchange rate is, on some gold packs in Warzone, that doesn't mean I'm going to be rolling a tank out at the beginning of every match. You know what I mean? I still have to earn, like, my team. It's not even up to me. My team has to get to the point where we can unlock those kinds of things, and then I can spend whatever I've earned. It's just there. So that's the real difference. It doesn't mean I can just roll up with a saw and a rocket launcher and all this stuff like all at once. So, I think you're right. The balance is there. And so on the flip side of things, this is fantastic, because people who want to, hopefully there's some whales playing Halo. And if anybody's familiar with how microtransactions work and what a developer really looks for,
there must be. There has
really
to be.
Looks for.
They must have had to done some kind of research to this, and
so you're gonna have like your Breaking Benjamin lead singers who have all kinds of money that they want to drop on Halo 5 because he loves the game so much. Guys, go look it up. He loves this game. Come on, they were in Halo 2. Breaking Benjamin lead singer, big fan. So he's gonna drop all kinds of money on these rec packs because he has it. It's not like $100 is not a big deal to him, and all that is income. for them for 343, and all that's going to do is benefit us as fans of the franchise who wants to see them succeed and make more and take more risks and spend more money. And I mean, we talked about when Halo 5 came out and everybody was like, what the fuck is up with this campaign? I mean, they said before the game even came out, we cut a whole lot from this game, and you're like, yeah, we can tell like half of the cutscenes and where's the story and blah blah blah.
I hate the way they told me that before I got to play the game.
And you were like, ahead of time, you were like, oh, that's okay, 343. You're trying so hard. We love you. And now everybody's played it, and they're like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that next time. But they've done all this work. They've laid a great foundation with this multiplayer, with what they're doing. So if the next Halo has more income and more flexibility, and they can throw more bodies at it and get more done in a shorter amount of time because of this, then I'm down with it.
Have they said what did like the rec packs at the moment were funding the Halo Championship series?
Sure.
Is this money going towards that as well?
Of course.
Yeah, I think it's exclusively
because it crossed 2 million now. Like so it was $1 million thanks to the rec packs initially and blah blah blah. But the HCS tournament overall is over 2 million.
I think I really like that, because if you look
crazy.
at Dota, which had the international, was it 5-4? I can't remember which one we're on now. Last year's
was this year, right?
Yeah, last year's had like a $17 million prize pool. Now, granted, Halo's nowhere near that yet in terms of the prize pool or even viewership. Tons of people watch that game. But it could get there eventually. I do believe that strongly in the multiplayer, and there are definitely going to be people out there who are playing it professionally. If you can integrate microtransactions in a way where it benefits the community like Valve has for Dota, then that really only benefits the consumer. Again, because you're not coercing people to buy these things. Like, they can buy these things, but they don't have to. That's great. I would love to hear the perspective of someone who plays Warzone a lot, because, I mean, I do understand that, okay, if you don't have a Scorpion wreck, then you're not going to be able to summon one in Warzone, which gives other players who do have that wreck card a distinct advantage if they do want to summon it. But like, I don't exactly know what the deal is. Like, I would love to know if that is something that people feel is imbalanced. Like, if that is a pay to win sort of mentality there, because again, like, I don't really play Warzone, so to me it doesn't really strike me as one, but I could see how it might. And that's the crux of the microtransactions
Sean,
argument to me, is whether or not it's.
Let me give you my opinion.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if I'd classify myself as an avid Warzone player, especially like in recent weeks, but I do play it a fair bit. And I see this two ways with this new, since this is legit and they're having these deals, so to speak.
Yeah, it's real. It's real life.
Is one, if people want to buy these packs and spend money, these deals are ways for them to save money. Like, so you can have someone who might have spent and bought 40 plus gold packs already, but they've spent significantly more than $100 because these deals weren't in place. So it benefits the fans who want to buy, because it actually saves them money if they want to buy in that bulk. So I think that's a plus. But where it starts getting sticky is, like you said, if some players will get priority in terms of card rarities over other players who may not have invested that much money into it. And that all comes down to 343's matchmaking system, because when they first revealed Warzone and we were talking about it, I think at like E3 and at Gamescom, they were saying that you would be matched with players that have similar rec libraries as you. And so if
that sounds crazy.
I am pretty sure they said that. We can investigate that for another episode.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they said that. And if that is true, then I don't see this being that big of an issue, because it may not filter it like 100%, so to speak, but the effort is there, and as long as it makes some sort of impact. Because once you start getting mythic level weapons, like you can wreak some havoc, and to get paired with someone who might be only like level 15 or 20 or even like 50 who doesn't even have like legendaries or anything, like you have a very distinct advantage because you have these mythic cards, and getting all these gold packs weeds out all those lower rarity stuff, so then you can get or have a higher chance to get these higher ones. So I think it depends on that matchmaking criteria and how close it sticks to matching players with similar rec libraries.
Yeah, there's kind of a lot of nuance to this argument, because a while ago we actually did, like, IGN had this article called "Why Halo 5 Guardians Microtransactions Aren't Pay to Win," and I agree mostly with the sentiment that's in there, because while I do think that on some level rec packs affect gameplay in Warzone, because, like I said, if you don't have a card, you can't summon that item or whatever. Yeah. That's a direct gameplay sort of change, right? Or whatever. Yeah. At the same time, like, even if you did have the card, Scorpion tanks, like any of the really sort of powerful mantises, like any of the sort of really powerful items, take a lot of energy to summon, and you can't just pull them off right at the front end of the match, right? You still have to get kills, you still have to earn that energy to get up to like 6, 7, or 8 or whatever it is to get your item out there.
Not to mention that, I mean, if anybody's ever pulled a Scorpion tank out, a lot of times you pull it out and it just gets destroyed immediately.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
it's
that
also
aside,
situational.
Right? That aside,
like pulling
it's
it out
like,
at the right time.
Well, not even just Scorpion tanks, right? I use that as an example, but
Sure.
The point is, like, whatever it is, rocket launchers or any power weapon or any power vehicle, like, the reason I don't think it's pay to win is because, one, you still need to, you can't just summon it right at the front end of the game. You have to charge it up basically by getting energy, and you have to accomplish objectives and kill people or the opposing team or whatever it is to kind of get that charge. So that makes it a little bit easier to deal with. Plus, like, I don't know, have you been opening rec packs and paying attention to what you get into? Like, I get like 5 Scorpions and like a whole bunch of other, like, I can't imagine how many of these cards are actually just floating around. Like, I don't think there's anyone out there who doesn't, especially if you play Warzone a lot, I don't think there's anyone out there who just doesn't have the items that they need just naturally by playing the game. Like, I think you just get better chance at more cool things or cool skins or special versions of the power weapons or items in rec packs, and that's kind of the draw of them.
Or even this, like, say you open your 40 gold packs and you get, just to say 5 Scorpions in every single one of those 40 rec packs, then that's 20 Scorpions. Or that's 200 Scorpions. You don't need 200 Scorpions, so you could just sell all those or sell 195 of them and then get those rec points and then buy more packs. So you can do that as well. You don't have to keep every single thing you get.
Yeah, and Sean, I think one of the biggest reasons why this isn't pay to win is if you think about how a game like Destiny or Dota works, where the items that you get are your items. In Halo, if I kill a guy and he's got a rad weapon and I got a piece of shit, I can pick his weapon up and now I have it. You know what I mean? Like, I earned that because I killed him and I took, or, somebody else killed him and then I came and took it.
Wait, is that actually how it works? Like, I know you can pick up their weapon.
You can drop that shit and I can pick it up.
But in picking it up, it actually grants you access to the skin or whatever?
No. It just means I have it. It just means I have it.
You have it in that moment.
Yeah,
you don't get the card.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he doesn't
that
unlock
would
the
be
weapon
crazy.
Because
then I wouldn't even play the game. I just go around like hunting people's weapons, like trying to collect all the really cool skins.
That'd be cool. No, it's not like an infection thing where, like once I pick it up, I have it in my inventory. But in a game like Dota or Destiny, when you kill somebody, like their items or their power-ups or boosts or whatever is gone. And that's it. So it's a bit more pay to win because what you have is only for you. Whereas in Halo, the weapons are on the map, the vehicles are on the map, and if you can hijack that really nice tank or that Gauss cannon or something like that, like you can just use that against the other team. And now there's a better sense of balance. And I think that's something that Halo's always been prioritizing above all things, is trying to be balanced. And I think that having this is just an opportunity to support Halo if you want to, and kind of cut straight to the chase of having the fun of opening those packs and finding out what you're going to get next and filling out all this stuff that you're trying to unlock. And like you said, Sean, you still have to earn this stuff, and like these guys still have to unlock it. And I think that nobody expects, What I think what would change all this is like being able to pay for a way to just have it at the beginning of a match, and that would completely destroy the entire game type. So they would never do that. So I don't think you could pay
Nobody
to win.
seems to be looking at this in a negative light either.
No.
Everyone just seems to
No,
be.
I think
don't
it's walking a very fine line, but it's still underneath.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of money.
My God.
All right, David,
Yo.
let's get some cannon fodders out of here so we can start heading
right.
towards the
Wait,
archive.
hold on. Did we talk about Arena Breakout?
No. Do you want to talk
No.
about Arena Breakout?
Hey, if you want to talk about it.
Did you
buddy.
guys play that? Because I
No.
saw that and was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had time to play this.
No, I missed that completely.
It was last weekend, not this weekend.
Yeah.
What is it? I didn't get to play.
Basically, it's 4v4 on arena maps, but with breakout rules. And so it's essentially elimination because you have regular shields, you have regular map weapons, and there's a neutral flag in the center, and it's just a different take on breakout.
I really like that.
And
That's cool.
it's more or less just one life slayer.
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably more accurate way to say it. And I don't know, it sounded really cool, really interesting. And I was disappointed I wasn't able to try it out, and I was just curious if you guys did.
I would like to.
Yeah, I played a
Sean,
bunch
do you
of
play
it.
Breakout?
Yeah, I mean,
What'd you think?
I did a lot during the ramp up
The
to the
beta and
release of
stuff.
Halo.
Yeah.
The kind of ramping up to the release of Halo 5. I like it. I think it's a cool game type, and it is kind of Counter-Strike-esque. And this, like, putting it on regular maps instead of those crazy sort of like Tron-like Forge-style maps or whatever, that's an interesting little twist. I guess my whole thing is like it's just not really Halo to me. Like, I mean, in the sense of what Halo has
Sure.
come to be in terms of
It's not what
competitive
you're
play.
looking for Halo.
Yeah, like
right?
it's fun. It's a nice change of pace. But to me, it's like I don't know. I play Halo for the regular sort of 4v4 multiplayer with shields, power weapons, arena style gameplay, and
the
and
Halo
SWAT.
2 Slayer multiplayer.
Yeah, basically. And SWAT. And this is cool, but it's also just a little bit different, and different in a way that's a nice change of pace, but not something that I would continue going back to. But putting it on just the regular arena maps, that was a cool little twist, and it's been fun.
Cool.
All right.
All right. David,
Yo.
give me some cannon fodders, buddy.
That's
We
me.
got 2 of them.
We got 2. I think Jeff is finished. He hasn't decided if he's going to do one or not. I think he said he'd mention but we get one more for the rest of the year.
Oh, okay.
So-
I thought you were going to say like ever, and I was supposed to be like, no.
No way.
All right.
So there was Cannon Fodder issue 54 and 55 that came out in the last 2 weeks. So 54 was called Sustained Glass, and it was all about different. It's definitely Cartographer's Gift. I mean, it's all the kind of wrecks, and he teases them out in this and the community update as well. Bravo does some of them. So it's just showing you all the little pictures and everything of the records of what you get.
I don't mean to nitpick, but I see you spelled armor like completely wrong in here.
You
There's
mean correctly?
There's an unnecessary U in it, and I don't know if you meant to put that there.
Oh no,
because that's
don't
not how
worry
you
about it.
spell armor.
We just invented the language, but it's fine.
You just spell
Don't worry
like
about it.
does cartographer need to have a U in it also?
Maybe.
Cartographer.
If you want to. I won't
Does the
stop
word Timmy have to have a U in it?
you. If you want to move.
Yeah, why does the word announcement have a U in it, huh?
Yeah.
what's up with
What's
that?
up with that?
It's supposed to be there. Don't worry about it.
Community, man.
Cannon,
many U's.
cannon, and fodder need to have U's in them now.
Just let it go. It's fine, guys. It's fine. Everything is exactly
Alright.
where it needs to
55.
Uh huh.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
There, he bunch of little bit. Sorry, that was verbal diarrhea. A whole bunch of lore information from the maps and stuff like that. All the new maps that we got, and detailed histories on Timmy and Olive. And I do not know who they are. I'm drawing a
There's
blank.
Spartan 3s, maybe?
Oh,
I think
Olive.
they are.
Yes, I think I know.
Yeah.
Yes. They're from
Timmy.
I
Ghost
think
of War.
Alpha come.
Yeah.
Uh,
You have to
Um,
make South
55.
Park Timmy jokes are required.
Also, Jeff kind of dropped this bomb that they're having this book out next year, which sounds fucking awesome.
This
Which
is
is the Halo
I'm really
Mythos.
excited for this.
Ooh, I didn't see this.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm really excited.
It's essentially a Halo Bible, essentially,
Oh.
and that's what they're putting out. It's going to link all the store content and all the DM lore content from everything, going
Oh my
from Promethean War with humans all the way up to present day. It's coming out, I think, October next year. or something like that. At the
That's
end.
my birthday.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so far away.
Sean, you gonna buy me this?
No, I have no money.
Aw. Well, maybe you will next year. Hey, Vin Diesel's gonna swing by your house and pick you up.
Ask Santa for it, man.
All right.
Dude, Vin Diesel is gonna. Okay, more like later. He's coming to Savannah for Baywatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
for Baywatch. Oh my god.
yeah.
Although if
Anyway.
Diesel's in it.
When I think Baywatch, I don't think Savannah at all.
Oh, well, in 2017, you will.
No, I'm sure. Yeah. All right. No, this sounds amazing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fantastic. I'm
Oh,
excited for
yeah.
that.
It's gonna be class. I know it is.
Swag.
So- That's what we have to look forward to anyway, guys.
Well, that's some news. Oran, you had a little thing for your Spartan Company address. Do you want to just use that for the rest of the episode, or do we actually want to hit up the archive for anything?
No, we don't have to do it. I think let Oran do his thing because we have a.
Yeah, mine's real short. Aaron makes it looks long the way he structured it, but it's pretty straightforward.
Holy shit, we have an armory in here too?
Um,
And a memory lane? Wow.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we should do memory lane.
We should do memory
we can
lanes.
talk about.
Well, we have
we
Sean.
should- we might be able to skip armory, but we'll get to that in a second after we do the Spartan Company address. So if this is the second time it's been on the show, so if you're unfamiliar with it, that's okay. Drew and I started it last month around Thanksgiving, and basically
We
it's
should
where
just
I
do it around the
highlight.
holidays.
I guess so. And basically, I just kind of highlight anything that happens in our community over the past week or two. And I've been starting to do community polls just because I want people's opinions on things because I like to ask Halo questions to people. So way back on December 8th, which makes me feel real bad that I haven't done a poll since then, that was when the limited edition Halo Championship Series Rec Pack was available. And it was available for, I think, $10 or 80,000 rec points. And it gave some exclusive skins for the Halo Championship Series, as well as some armor variants of the Aethelon, I think, armor.
Yeah, that was it.
So I was really disappointed because I didn't have time to even play the game to try to reach it, and I didn't want to just spend $10 for it. So I was curious to see who got it and how they earned it. And so the top two votes or things was that players didn't get it, and 8 of them said that they didn't have time to reach them, and the other 8 said that they just didn't want it. So I found that kind of interesting.
I am one of those 8. I didn't want it.
You didn't want it?
No.
See, I wanted it, but I just didn't have time to reach it. What about you, Drew?
I believe I said no, I didn't want it. Yeah. It looked cool, and I don't think I realized how short and how limited it was. But it was one of those, I saw this as, man, I hope they do a bunch of these, and this just happens to be one that I didn't want. A lot like some of the rarest stuff in Destiny where you're like, oh, man, this thing is out. Oh, you can get it. No, oh, I didn't get to get it. And then when you see it, you're like, oh, I didn't really care about that. Like, that didn't look like something I wanted anyways. So right now, it just didn't really pique my interest. But I love stuff like this. Like, I love that they're doing it.
I think it's great. I really hope they continue to do more. I really like the weapon skin, so I kind of wanted it for that.
Yeah. But looking at this poll, I mean, 5 people from our tiny little community.
I was about to
5
get to
people
that.
spent
Yeah,
$10. That's
5 people went out and just bought it, and then
Yeah.
3 people played the game over the weekend and
Spent their
saved up
points.
for 80,000 rec points.
Well, they probably just sold all their mongooses and then funded it that way.
They probably did.
That's a lot of mongooses.
Yeah. Maybe a
so-
couple sniper rifles.
I
Yeah,
don't know how
and,
you could do this because I would not have the mental fortitude to not spend 80,000.
Oh, to not spend them.
No way. I would cave
I think
so
the
fast.
most. I think the most I've ever had at one point was like 23,000, and I think that was when I just played like an entire day, and then at the end of the day I was like, oh, I haven't bought any rec packs.
And
yet.
that's, I mean, what's impressive for me. Well, actually, you took this poll on the 8th. Was this done? Did they do this over the Thanksgiving break?
I think the 8th
So,
was a Monday, and it was the
but-
Monday after it was no longer available.
Yeah, over the Thanksgiving break, I could totally see some kids doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I could totally see some people just Halo all day, every day. just turning into Cartman, like, Ma, Batman, like.
Now, if they announced this like over Thanksgiving, then I would have played and saved up my rec. So then when it did come out, but they just kind of announced it and it was like, hey, this is now live.
Yeah,
and then it's going to be available. It's going to be available for the weekend. So if you don't get it by noon Pacific on Sunday or Monday, then oh well. So, but anyway, I thought it was interesting. I thought that maybe our community would be more inclined to want it. So I found that being interesting.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I want to highlight is a community member, Real Mystery. Over the past month or so, he's been making some YouTube videos of solo legendary runs and playthroughs.
Yeah.
And so he's been posting them on our Facebook, and he has a whole YouTube account with a playlist, and he comments on them. He kind of gives his strategy. Just overall talking about it, and they're really interesting, and I wanted to highlight it for anyone out there who's struggling on a certain mission trying to get that solo legendary achievement. And his YouTube is just Real Mystery, but it's spelled Mistry, and it's all one word, Real, Real. So check out his YouTube, or if you see his videos on our Facebook, they're there as well.
Yeah,
so.
Real Mystery's a good guy. I've chatted with him a few times. He made some videos from. I met him through the Drunken Halo podcast community. That's kind of where he found us. Is I was on their show, and so he stumbled into our Facebook group, and he's a good guy. He made some great videos also of playing with the Drunken Halo guys, and it's all cut together from everybody's different perspectives, and you just hear the voice chat of the party, and it's pretty funny. It's some entertaining stuff. So he is new to doing this kind of stuff, especially commentary and stuff like that. So I would recommend everybody going over there and giving his videos a shot, and just give him some feedback, because I know he's looking for it right now. He just wants to know what he can do to improve his channel and improve his work. So definitely give him a shot and check these out.
Yeah, I might have to check out his Three Wardens video to see what's his tactic to pass the kind of infinitely hardest part of the game.
Dude, I forgot that I had told everybody that I was trying my legendary run like a couple weeks ago, I think, and I didn't update anybody on that. I stopped.
We know.
I am not a glutton for punishment, and especially with Halo, because I love Halo so much. I don't want to hate it, and ever since 2002, banging my head against the library, I've just always been like, hey, I like this game, so I'm gonna bump this down just a little bit to get through here, and then just continue enjoying it instead of Dark Soulsing myself to death with it. I'm not a big fan of that.
That's kind of how I feel about modern legendary. It is super hard, and the last one I did solo on legendary was 3. And that was when I was in college, and I had time to really
rough level.
Yeah, it is.
3 is a good one.
It's possible.
Like
it's difficult, but it's possible. You just got to have time and strategy. And nowadays, I did 4 on co-op, and I'll probably do 5 on co-op over the break. But it's just now I don't have the time to really do it on my own by myself. Miranda Sanchez from IGN, who did the guide, she played through Halo 5. Shout out to Miranda, by the way. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's
great.
If you
don't know who she is, check her out. But she did the guide for Halo 5 for IGN, and she had to play through Halo 5's legendary campaign solo, and she did it, and
that poor girl.
She was so angry, but it's really funny.
I'd love to see her that angry, because she's a very well-tempered person.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see her just raging. You know what I mean? I could see her getting frustrated, but not just slamming controllers and stuff. I couldn't picture her doing that.
Well, what's great about Miranda is that her raging, Miranda is just funny and adorable in general, but her raging is the same way. It's kind of indistinguishable from her being funny and happy and adorable. Her rage is adorable too. I'll walk by her desk when she was doing that, and I'll hear swear up a storm, but it's still the funniest thing
just in the cutest
ever.
Voice and coming out of this cartoon child.
Yeah, but I mean that I'm on the same side as you. I no longer have the time or the patience to want to play a game, especially a game that I love, to that degree of difficulty. I don't have the time anymore.
You know, that happened to me with The Witcher as well. I was trying to do it on like a harder difficulty, and I am not like really, really experienced with The Witcher historically. So I was finding myself like just not having fun. And I was like, what am I doing? Who do I need to prove myself to? Like, I just need to have fun, right? Like, that's the whole point.
No, Drew, you need those Chivos. Those sweet.
All right, so Sean, something you don't know about David over here.
Hi, Sean.
David is part of he's a Chivo addict, a former Chivo addict. You have what, 100 and...
I have 115, 118 now. I don't know.
Yeah, and when you crossed 100, you basically just chilled.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
So the 18,000 achievement
Kind
points
of
are just
Yeah,
like,
that's
whatever.
115,000. Wait,
115.
the gamer score, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Gamer
Yeah,
score,
yeah.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
This guy over here, he's got a full
Yeah,
time job. and all
I'm
that
a
stuff.
recovering achievement whore, as they call it on the internet.
Yeah, I can quit anytime I
and
want.
when I-
Anytime I want.
When I was in
Don't believe you.
Just the sound, I love the sound that for
I
when
agree.
Podcast Unlocked comes on. You got that little pop. I love it.
I've never been that. I don't know why. It's never really done that for me. There's been like instances within specific games where I'm like, oh, I gotta get that. The 3 months I played World of Warcraft, I was like really paying attention to my achievements, and I was playing with people who've been playing for years, and they were like, oh yeah, I forgot that was even a thing in this game. You know, like they don't even care because they've logged like 4,000 hours in the game, and I'm over here like, oh, so I got to fly through all these places and I get an achievement? I can do that. I'll just sit here and listen to this podcast and just put it on autopilot or whatever. But yeah, I've never really fought for achievements or like you guys slimming through like shitty games just to get those achievements. No.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'll admit it. I went Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's there.
Man.
I'll admit it.
I did play King Kong though, because I actually liked it when it came out.
I bought the Tomb Raider again, so I could get all the achievements again when it came out for Xbox One.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that was
Jeez.
that was when I was on in
So
the
you can double
90.
up on
I was
it?
like 98, and I was like, I need
Yeah.
achievements, so I bought that game again.
And that's the scary thing. Like, I remember you were coming up on 100,000, and we were like excited for you because you sounded like, you know, the I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm gonna hit 100,000 and retire, you know. And then like you hit 100,000, and you were like, I'm done. I don't care anymore. And then that was after Master Chief Collection, and then Halo 5 came out, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I have
Oh
to
man,
do all of
I was
these.
so giddy to learn that there was 4,000 or 400 achievements for Master Chief Collection, and they just kept adding them.
Yeah.
But then I got like swamped with because I was finishing up college, and then I go back to it before Halo 5 came out, and I was just like, oh, there's so many achievements I don't have. I don't know if I could do this.
Oh, and ODST
I just
too,
kind of
yeah.
broke down.
I forgot ODST added to it. Yeah. Well,
It's
all
a
right.
monster.
Anyway,
Let's hit up one segment here. I think we are going to skip the armory. What were we going to talk
We're
about?
gonna go down to memory lane and have a little chat with Sean. I think.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
Sean, we're gonna give you a proper interview, I guess, at this point.
All right.
If you can remember your answers to the last time, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's fine. You can refill it out. It's like the goat in Fallout. You know, you can fill it out however you want. Just So we're gonna hit down memory lane with Sean, the Shark Finnegan, and we want to start off with, I don't know this. Have you made Halo videos? I don't remember if we talked about that before for IGN.
Just like regular, all
Just-
your sort of just coverage. Yeah, I've made a bunch of Halo videos for IGN. I think.
Anything more on the creative side? Like, I think I said this last time, but I didn't get to have it on record. Did you do the Game Shop song?
Yeah, I made
I
that music
fucking
video.
love that thing, dude. That is the best.
Oh, that's awesome, man! Thank
I
you.
listen to
Yeah.
that like almost every month.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a
I
funny.
love that song.
That's a little funny little video. I mean, so
It's
those
so
were
much
back in
fun.
the day when we did a lot more original videos and music videos. Tim Geddes, who
Oh yeah,
you guys may know, former IGN producer, now kind
Yep.
of funny host producer.
they finally let Tim host,
They finally let him host. Yeah,
He just had to leave.
and then he was like, "Let's just leave now."
Yeah, he just yeah, exactly. him and me are very good friends and close collaborators, and Tim is this type of guy who loves to do stuff like that. A big Macklemore fan. He originally pitched me on the idea. Initially, I was like, this is stupid. I was like, I don't think that's going to be good at all. And he was like, no, dude, trust me. And so, like, he pitched me on the idea. We worked on it. And I love shooting music videos, so I did that one. And it ended up being one of IGN's more successful original videos in the past few years. So it was a lot of fun. Plus, now I kind of listen to Macklemore. So
Right?
it had that.
His new single makes me angry, and then it gets really good. Like, that song starts off so cheesy, and then it gets real good, and I'm like, damn it.
That one
Damn it,
I don't
like
think
this
I
song.
know if I...
The Downtown song?
Oh, I think I've heard about it, but I haven't listened to it. When I say I listen to Macklemore, I mean, like, I've heard his hits before.
This
I don't
one's
know
weird.
if I would call it listening to him.
This new song, go check it out. It's weird. It does not sound like Macklemore, and then you realize it is, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Anyways, what's your favorite video that you've worked on for IGN?
Favorite? Ooh.
Yeah. Kill all of your other children and just leave one.
It's super tough because, like, I've made a lot of...
cheat. Give me, like, a top 3 or something.
Yeah, so I would say, I think the very first... Wait, no, was it? Yeah, so I guess the very first original video I did was kind of a promo for this channel we used to have called Start.
Oh, I remember Start.
Naomi is sitting on the roof of our building, and she's doing a promo for Cheap Cool Crazy, and Greg Miller interrupts her, and she calls in the Normandy, and he calls in an airstrike, and it hits the Normandy and goes flying off, and they have this, like, rivalry.
Oh, shit, I gotta see that.
Yeah, if you go to YouTube and search Mass Effect in Real Life IGN or Mass Effect in Real Life Start, then you'll find that. It's just a promo. That was the very first video I ever worked on, like the first original video I worked on at IGN.
Yeah.
The first video I worked on with Naomi, the first like thing I wrote and made for IGN. So I think in that way it's my favorite, one of my favorites, because it was just like, that's the beginning of my time at IGN 5 years ago. So
yeah,
that was cool. Second, I'd probably have to say Avengers Boy Band, which is another one of these like stupid music videos that I did for IGN.
I think I've seen this one.
Yeah, I think that one's real cool because it was a collaboration between, again, me, Tim, and Nick Scarpino, who is another one of these close friends and collaborators from the early days at IGN, who is also now Kind of Funny. That, I think, video, I love everything about it. I love how I shot it. I love how the edit came together. I love all the motion graphics and the effects. I think the song is actually funny, although really, really poorly recorded, and I think that's why it kind of failed, was because like the song itself isn't that good and it needed to be better. But like none of those guys can sing really, so it's as good as it could be for a bunch of people who are not musicians or singers. So I think I'm fine with it. But that's just, I think, a pretty good indication of like when the video team's like firing on all cylinders, like what's capable.
Just having fun.
Yeah, like what we're capable of. And then I guess third, to round out the top three, is the very last episode of Podcast Beyond with Colin and Greg as hosts. I think is not because of anything. I've seen it. Yeah, I can't remember what episode number it is.
Number that was.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I'd have to go look it up. But
I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Yeah, like I've produced all of IGN shows for a long time, and you know, Greg and Colin are such an iconic and sort of like they are the DNA. They aren't just in the DNA of Podcast Beyond. They are the DNA of Podcast Beyond. And
and
to see them like move on and kind of give these really heartfelt speeches to the community and kind of put this big thing that they've created from the ground up with their own two hands behind them, like that was a really moving and emotional moment for me. And like Colin is not an emotional guy, and when he started to well up with tears, I was like, oh my god, these onions, they're killing me.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, that was a hard video to watch. It was very good.
Yeah, it was hard. And I mean, I was sitting in the control room when they did it, watching it live, seeing it happen, knowing what that we were going to do. And I think that's just like, to me, it's like, it's nothing about the production quality or the creativity like these other videos that I've done, but it's kind of like it puts a button on what makes IGN such a really cool place to work. Is like I don't know, man. I'm jealous of them. They created something awesome that so
Yeah.
many people on a weekly basis engage with and love, and to them, their family and friends.
And they have people have grown up with Beyond with Greg and Colin.
Totally,
and
totally.
that's why they've all. That's
they
why
have-
Kind of Funny has succeeded.
Yeah, and they have every reason to be proud of that work, like very proud. And in a way, I'm jealous of that because, like, you know, I always feel like I could be doing more, doing something better, doing something cooler, and to be able to work with two guys who are very passionate and do that and have done that, and kind of have to see them walk away from it.
Yeah.
It was very moving, very awesome experience.
So to add on to this question, if you had a dream project that you could work on or do, what would it be?
Ooh.
No budget restraint. Doesn't have to be for IGN. Just what would be your dream to do right now?
I would
You don't have
love...
to say Halo. It's fine.
No, I was gonna. I mean, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is I would love to make the Halo feature film.
Now, in your mind, the Halo feature film is what? Is it the story of Chief? Is it the story of the Human Covenant War?
You
Oh.
stole my question.
It's
Sorry.
definitely
Exactly what I was going to ask.
that is what it is. Like, to me, Halo is Chief, and to
Yeah.
me, Halo is humanity on the brink of annihilation. Like, the
Yeah.
war is coming to Earth, or maybe maybe it's also the fall of Reach. I also love
Sure.
the storytelling. I'm one of these, I guess you could call them Reach apologists. Like, I think Reach is pretty good. I know a lot of people don't like
God,
it.
yeah.
Well, like, a lot of people don't like it, and I think
Sure.
it's actually great. There's this aura of just like everything is so fucked. Like, you cannot,
Yeah.
like, no matter what you do in that game, like, everything keeps going wrong.
Yeah.
The planet is coming, like, it's under attack. It's just everything is so, I don't know. It's so
It's the Empire Strikes Back of the
yeah. It's
Halo,
mournful.
Wow,
it's
that's
like
too funny you say that.
it's
Yeah.
It's like
ridden,
I had the same thought. but
it's
I don't wanna
ridden
get
with
into it.
despair.
Go.
Like, I love the tone of that game because it's just so full of despair and like all hope has been destroyed. And the only thing that is holding together anyone at this point, the whole of humanity, is the Spartans and Chief. And I think that is an awesome angle for a movie. So yeah, to me it would either be the Human Covenant War, in which Chief is like a hero, obviously,
Sure.
or the Fall of Reach. But to me, yeah, it's this huge, massive, intergalactic, sprawling sci-fi action movie in the vein of like Star Wars or
Battlestar Galactica.
yeah, except a less heady than Battlestar Galactica.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
Battlestar Galactica gets really philosophical and spiritual there at the end, which
That's
is fine.
true.
I
Yeah,
just don't
near
think
the
that's
end it
what
gets pretty
Halo is
ridiculous.
to me, you know?
The tone. I think that's the thing that I've always liked about Battlestar Galactica is like the tone is balanced really, really well. It does have this desperation. You can feel they are the last of humanity as far as they're aware, and they're just on the run, and they got to jump from the Cylons all the time. They got to pull all these last minute harrowing things, and
Yeah,
that tone, it really, really strikes really well.
I agree. And I mean, to me, that's who Chief is like, the
Just-
reason
just
Chief is
holding
awesome is
everything
because
together.
he is the last shield between the destruction of humanity and
Yeah.
their survival. And I love that. I love games that the linchpin of that series is one character, and like that's the same reason I love Mass Effect, right? Because Shepard, man, like the last person who can save the planet.
And the
or
beauty of
the
Shepard to
humanity.
me is that he's not a super soldier. You know, he's not like this beyond everybody character. And I think that's one thing that I've always appreciated about Chief is that he is sorry, he's a Spartan, so he's a total badass, but he's not the tallest, he's not the strongest, he's not the fastest, he's not the best shot, he's not the best pilot or whatever. He is just the leader. He's the
Luckiest.
he's the master, the jack of all trades, but he's the only one that can make all this work. And what I appreciate about Shepard is that the way that he is the linchpin is that he makes deals and communicates and relates with everybody. Like he gets whoever you are. If you're a Krogan or you're sorry or whatever, he doesn't have like allegiances to one side or another. He just wants to accomplish the mission and save the freaking universe. He doesn't care about your politics or whatever, and he's going to try to navigate that and be a bit of a politician about it.
Totally.
You know, it's really cool. It's a cool character.
To me,
So
yeah, exactly. And that's, I say many of the same things about Chief. Like, to me, he's just a leader, a born leader, like
Yeah.
an iconic one. And I think
his
like
big thing
great
was
sci-fi
luck.
is predicated on that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that would be my answer, is the Halo feature film. Microsoft,
Good
if you're
answer.
listening out there, you know, Josh Holmes or Bonnie or, you know, Kiki over there, I know all you guys and have
Yeah.
met you, but
Okay, Sean, we're connected, so it's fine.
let
me,
Put in a good word for you.
We have one. We
let
have
me
one
do the
in.
Halo feature film.
We have one in. We'll push you to him, and then he'll pass the word up, and I don't know.
Things will
Hopefully
happen.
it'll work. I would love to see a Sean Finnegan directed Halo movie. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be, I mean, oh man. Even if it wasn't a feature film, even just anything in the Halo universe would
A trailer.
be probably
I
well,
mean,
that's
you
the
could
thing
do
is
a
like
trailer.
I would love
I think
to.
that's
I would
totally doable.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, I mean, I know it's doable because one of my favorite Halo just things in general is the Deliver Hope trailer.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna say
my
one of the
favorite,
Reach
yeah.
trailers.
Yeah, like oh my gosh, it's so good. Like that is the tone of Halo to me. Like that if you had to encapsulate the 10 or however many 15 years I've been playing Halo. When did Combat Evolved come out? Was it 2001? Yeah, so
Yeah,
15 years I've been playing Halo.
Holy shit! Yeah. You're right.
If you were to encapsulate what Halo is over 15 years experientially to me, I would say just watch Deliver Hope, and that is it. Like,
Yeah.
it strikes the tone perfectly of what Halo is. Like, it's got
Yeah.
great action, great editing, great pacing, but it also has this sense of, like, despite all
Sacrifice
odds,
and-
despite all odds, despite the loss of hope, despite all of your friends dying, despite the brink, like, being on the brink of destruction, there's always the last-ditch effort to save
Yeah.
what you can. And I love that. Like, it's just what Halo is to me.
And then having the courage to actually do that and not just turn around and walk away and just be like, shit, all my friends are dead. I need to get out of here.
Exactly.
They're like, all my friends are dead, and they're not going to die in vain. You know, we're going to win.
The one small thing I would have done directorially, and again, who the hell am I compared to the guy who directed that? But like, and I get it, it's more accurate, but like that, a lot of people think that when, spoilers, if you haven't seen the Deliver Hope trailer, I'm giving you your spoiler warning now. At the end, or right up leading to the end, he, like the Spartan, who is Noble 6, the guy you play in Reach, launches off the ground using his like jetpack, and
Yeah.
it looks funny because the jetpacks are kind of really small because
Yeah.
that's how they are in the game, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it would have been way more dramatic if it was like a rocket launch. Like they're way bigger, and it takes a second. Like he activates them and they power up, and then he like lifts off slowly and then starts to pick up speed the way a rocket does now.
Sure.
Like directorially, I think that would have been way more dramatic, and I think it would have been less funny. Because,
Well,
like,
so-
as it is in the trailer, he kind of just, like, bloop, and then whoop, like, flies up there pretty
It
quick,
looks
and you're
really
like,
goofy.
whoa.
It like kind of looks kind of goofy, but it is
Yeah.
accurate.
So,
Hey,
like-
fun fact about that trailer. That's not Noble 6 from Halo Reach.
Really?
That's
It's not.
the guy you replaced, and
That's how he died.
Okay,
That battle
interesting.
is canonical. It's not on Reach. It's somewhere else. I don't think we know where it is, but that's where Kat loses her arm. And now that's why she has a mechanical arm. And the guy that delivers hope is the guy that you replace. Those are the shoes that you fill at the beginning of Fall of Reach.
Interesting. You learn something new every day.
Isn't that awesome?
I thought that
I
was
didn't
great
I
when
didn't
they
know
brought
that.
out.
When
But
that
I-
first came out and stuff,
yeah.
I didn't know that was the case until I didn't know that until we started doing Podcast Evolved and somebody mentioned it. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that.
I was,
Like,
when
it's-
I found that out, I was like, this is fucking cool.
It made it way cooler to me. Yeah.
The prequel to the game is the trailer, and it's just like,
Yeah, because at the beginning of the game, you have so many questions, and those questions never get answered. You're like, who the fuck are all these people? Who am I? Why does she have a robot arm? What is happening? And the next thing you know, like, oh,
she's dead
everybody's
now.
dead, so it doesn't matter.
We're all dead.
All right, so what was your introduction to Halo, Sean? And with that, you know, what's one of your favorite memories of getting into Halo?
So I first started out, like most people did, with Halo in Combat Evolved back in 2001. I played it on
Good
the original
choice.
Xbox.
Yes,
Been
sir.
playing it ever since.
Hell
A
yeah.
lot of my a lot of my high school memories are System Link weekends with my friends. My buddy had this house that was 2 floors, and his room was on the bottom, and the living room was upstairs, and we would System Link from one floor to the other, blue team upstairs, red team downstairs, blue team for life.
Every time.
Yeah,
Sweet.
same 4 players on each team every time.
Dude, that is awesome.
That's class.
So we developed like a big rivalry, like one team versus the other, blue team versus red team, and that was just a lot of my high school years. Like a lot of my high school sort of weekends were spent doing LAN parties like that, between that and Counter-Strike. And so yeah, that was my first. As for my, I guess, favorite Halo memory,
Yeah.
it would have had to be in Halo 3. There's this achievement that you get. So Halo 3 is one of the it's one of the few Halo games that, I mean, it's one of the few games in general that I've 100%ed.
Oh, really?
And yeah, because I'm not a big like completionist person when it comes to that type of stuff. But Halo 3 is a game I loved so much that
Vidmaster challenges and everything, huh?
yeah, I did everything there is to do in that game.
Nice.
Dude, I
dude.
love
But
those.
one of them is that you have to beat the last level on Legendary with the skull that doesn't allow respawns on, and
Oh.
you have to do it on Ghosts and not in Warthogs. 4-player co-op.
Is that
That's
Iron?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the Iron Skull.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've played that last level, but like it's pretty tough to do even in the Warthog, which has a way more control. But then to have to
Oh,
do
yeah, the
it,
ghosts flip over a lot easier, don't they?
yeah. Also, it's harder to corner and control and stop, and you're driving
Yeah.
real fast because you're trying to avoid these, the holes in the ground that kind of pop
And
up.
all the flood popping around everywhere. And you're just
Yeah, like there's
"Get out
all
of the
kinds
way."
of crazy stuff going on that level, and to have to do it 4-player co-op, no respawns on
Jeez.
Ghosts, it was so hard, and it was so funny because we would always make it really close, and then one person inevitably
Sorry.
would
Sorry,
like fall
guys.
off an edge or hit a hole. It would always be like my roommate or someone. It was super
Yeah.
funny, and like just those real late nights playing Halo 3 like that were definitely some of like my favorite Halo memories. So I would say
Nice.
that, and then yeah, there's a few great nights where me and those same friends would spend hours just messing around in Forge, like calling in crazy stuff, making hilarious game types and all that. It was a lot of fun.
So you're more of a multiplayer guy than you are a campaign guy, you would say?
I don't know. I mean, when Halo 5 certainly, but to me the draw of Halo as a whole has always been campaign rooted. I think I love the story and the setting and the characters. That's why I love Halo 4, is because to me it's like the most developed character story of all of the Halos. Like
Yeah.
more so than
Oh,
1,
big
2,
time,
or 3
yeah.
or Reach even. 4 has this great sort of reflective storytelling about it where it's like you learn a lot about who Master Chief is, but you don't do it via Master Chief. You do it
Right.
via Cortana, which is awesome to me, and I love Cortana, which is why I hate what they did with Cortana in Halo 5.
In Halo 5? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I hate it.
She'll be
I
back.
literally hate
I'll be
it.
right. We'll get her back. It's
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say if I'm more of a multiplayer or campaign guy when it comes to Halo, because to me, like the reason it's so good is because I love both of them so much.
Well, what's your favorite campaign? I guess I don't want to say what's your favorite campaign because that's just what's your favorite game overall. But what's your favorite campaign moment? What chapter like resonates with you the most? And I guess it sounds like it's probably from Halo 4 then.
Actually, no, it's from Halo 3.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I think 3 would be like there's this moment where like I forget, I don't remember the level name anymore. But it's about midway through the game, but like you
We'll
drive
remember it
down
for you.
you're driving in a Warthog and you drive down to the beach, and at the bottom of the beach is a Hornet for the first time.
Oh yeah,
And you have to
that's
use
on
the
Covenant.
Hornet to fly
Is
through
that
the
Covenant?
air and like destroy all these banshees and stuff, and then land and kind of disable like 3 different shields. I don't
Yeah,
know
and the
why
strings
you're
come
doing it.
in, the music's playing.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, exactly. Like that is it. Is like it's the music, it's the scale, it's flying around in this new vehicle that I hadn't piloted before, which is awesome.
Yep.
It is just, it's Halo at its best. Like at that point in my life when I played that, which I think would have been like 2007 or something.
Yep.
I'd never played anything in video games like it. It was bigger, more well executed, more imaginative, more fun than anything I'd ever done before. And it's so memorable because of that. Like so many, I've been playing games literally my whole life, like since, the late 80s. And I can count the number of times games have given me that experience, like maybe not on one, but on 2 hands. Like where it showed me something that I was not aware was possible.
It's a fraction of the overall experience.
Yeah, that is one of them.
Yeah.
That moment is so big to me. And then there's like there's another moment that's from that same game, and it's when I forget the name of the ship. What is the name of the massive frigate that comes like barreling down out of space in Halo 3? Is it the Forward Unto Dawn?
Is it Forward Unto Dawn?
Let me look. I'm
because
Googling
that's
right
the one
now.
you leave in at the end of Halo 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, is that the scene? I want to look it up right now
Where
and make sure that
it's
I'm
coming
saying it
down
right.
and everything starts blowing away.
Right, it's on the
That's
arc.
amazing. Yeah,
the
that
arc.
moment.
My
Because,
favorite-
like,
my
you
favorite
hear
thing
the
about that
radio
is
chatter.
You don't realize that everything's going to do that at first, and I'm just standing behind a Wraith tank, and it hits me and kills me, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Well,
so I
yeah.
go back and reload, and I'm like, oh my god, this ship comes in and just literally blows everything else off the map.
Exactly. So like you're on this giant beach that you've just cleared out with a whole
Yeah.
bunch of like you've cleared it out with your Scorpion, which is awesome. There's a whole bunch of like destroyed, Banshees and Covenant tanks and all this other stuff, and like all of a sudden you hear the radio chatter. Oh, and you just clear the Scarab too. That's the other part of that. You clear the Scarab and you hear the radio chatter of the Marines, and they're like, Forward Unto Dawn is arriving in like a few seconds, and like the Marines are like, wait, they're doing an in-atmosphere like arrival, and they're like, I guess like we'll see if it's even possible, and you're like, wait a second, is this not supposed to be happening? And you turn around, and this massive ship comes like swinging out of the sky, and it comes real close to you and just lands right there. And it's again one of those moments where I was like, oh my god, I'm living in a sci-fi universe. Like,
yeah, the spectacle is pretty impressive.
it's
right
it's very cinematic, very cinematic. And I think Halo 3 has more of those moments than I think the rest of the series does, and that's why it's my favorite.
One of my favorite moments ever is very similar to that, and it's from Halo 3, where you come around the corner and there's 2 Scarabs, and you're just like, what do you mean 2 Scarabs? That's cheating. You can't. There's no way we're gonna take out 2 Scarabs. And like leading up to that, you've taken out a couple Scarabs in the game, and that's so funny because in Halo 2, like taking out the Scarab was such a huge deal. You're just like, how the fuck are we ever gonna kill this thing? This thing is unstoppable. It's like the Death Star of the Covenant. And then in Halo 3, they're just dropping like flies, and you're like, dude, this is insane. This game is so huge. And you get 2 Scarabs, and you try to take them out. You take them out basically at the same time, and just running around on the ground, looking up at these things as they explode, and like the way they did the effect where it just whites out the screen and everything is just flying everywhere. For me, that was such an amazing moment because of what you're saying, like just the sense of scale and being like, I did that. Like this is. And then looking back at the road that you took to get to that point is so ridiculous. And for me, I think what really nailed Halo 3, just for those cinematic moments, is to be able to literally go view them at any time in the theater.
Yeah,
and just
theater was
fly
a big
around
part
and
of that.
see it happen.
Theater
as
and
it's happening.
Forge made Halo 3 like another. Just again, that game to me is. It's like pinnacle in terms of Halo. Great story, great spectacle in the single player campaign, amazing multiplayer that was well balanced, and then also these really cool features that made it awesome to like capture, record, and make your own experiences and share them with the world. That was something also very forward thinking in Halo, and I love Halo 3.
It was mind boggling to like frame by frame watch the animation and watch the action happen. You could watch yourself launch a rocket and then fucking scan and watch, like follow the rocket all the way to the destination and then watch that thing explode, and then you're just like, oh my god, what other video game lets you do this? Like, and this was 2007. We'd only had the 360 for like a year or two, and we're just like, how are they doing this?
Yeah,
This is
it
crazy.
was an
This
incredible
is
thing.
cheating. All right, so let's see. One last thing. You ever watch Red vs. Blue or any like Halo Machinima? Do you have memories of that?
I mean, I watched like the first few seasons of Red vs. Blue because that was about the time I was starting to get into internet video, which has been my career for the last decade or so. So
Thanks to Rooster Teeth.
yeah, exactly. Like I mean, I love what Bernie has done with Rooster Teeth and how well written and
It's
storied
extremely-
it ended up becoming.
It's
Like,
extremely inspiring.
Yeah, like if you, I mean, for sure. Like even just from a craft perspective, I think it's really amazing the things that he had done with that. But like for me, it's more just like because I know Bernie and because like I'm a creative person like him and hope to do what he's done with a company, before, you know, in some manner, I guess, like later in my career.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you go back and watch the first few seasons of Red vs. Blue, which is the only ones I watched back in the day, like they're pretty rough around the edges. It doesn't really get like
of course.
good until like 5 or 6 and beyond.
Yeah.
But I mean, what he did with it, how he sort of like made it what it is, and the fan engagement and all of the stuff that made it very, very successful as like a really community-driven project, like all of that stuff, I think is really, really awesome. And I'm jealous of it in a way.
You know what's funny
absolutely.
is most people don't remember. Are you friends with any of the guys at Funhouse? Adam, Bruce? all those
No,
guys?
the Funhouse guys I don't really know.
Yeah. Well, you've seen how that kind of has gone, though, right? I mean, it's so funny. To me, it's come full circle because Machinima at Inside Gaming was a weekly show that Dead Pixel, which is Adam's like handle, it's always been his handle. He would do little videos, little Machinima stupid like host videos of stupid Halo videos or whatever. It was kind of like just this real small started thing, and he would report like little news from throughout the week, and it was all shot in Halo Reach, I believe. And then that eventually evolved into Inside Gaming Daily, and they were still doing the weekly stuff that was him in the game, but Inside Gaming Daily became this like weekly, you know, much like The Fix, just kind of a news talk show, real quick, this is what's going on today. And then that evolved into its own channel, its own, like Inside Gaming has a really avid following, even now after the guys left, because Matt's back, everybody's still kind of hanging around, checking them out. And then those guys have blossomed into this thing, and they're Rooster Teeth, which is funny because like Inside Gaming began because of Red versus Blue. Like doing Machinima and doing like a show in Halo only made sense because of what happened with Red vs. Blue like 10 years prior to that. So it's really, really crazy to watch how influential Red vs. Blue just as a concept was, and then beyond that, you know, what's grown out of that. Rooster Teeth is this huge company, and you know, all these people have careers and relationships and friends, and I mean, like Meg and Gavin, I don't know how the hell that happened. Like all this stuff has happened, and watching it as a fan, like from day one, I remember watching Red vs. Blue on pre-YouTube. Like I forgot that it was on just the internet and not on YouTube because it didn't exist. It's come such a long way.
Do you remember, Drew, that one time when we thought we were going to do one ourselves? We were going to do a podcast in the game.
Yeah, I remember that. That was good. All right, so Oran, David, do you have anything else for Sean while we have him tied to this chair?
Now you put me on the spot, Drew. I'm not ready. Like, I'm not prepared. I mean,
I had a question, and it was if you were to direct a movie in the Halo universe, where would you place it? But that question was already asked.
Yeah.
So,
Fall of Reach or Human
Yeah.
Covenant War?
Everywhere.
No,
in
it's
space.
funny that you said that because like that I had like if I would probably say the same thing because when Halo Reach the game came out, I was like it'd be so cool to have a movie called like Remember Reach or something, and like from the get go, it's like apparent that Reach is going to like be glassed and all that, and so you're just watching these people try to make the most of the situation and trying to save as many people as they can, and you meet all these characters and stuff, and so. It's I found it funny that you kind of had a similar train of thought to what like my kind of reaction was when the Halo game came out, and I was
so almost like
thinking
a
of
disaster movie of like from the perspective of the people and everybody on Reach, like kind of
yeah.
seeing
I
it
would the
play
way
out.
that I mean I haven't thought about it in a few years, but
Sure.
like the way I originally kind of conceptualized it because you follow Noble Six and kind of their interactions with Reach and like the community of Reach because like
Yeah.
you save civilians and stuff like that, and so I would probably set it similarly where it'd be like a militaristic I guess, disaster movie, I guess, and you would meet these characters, and it would be this team, or Spartans and Master Chief or whatever, and they would be going around trying to save as much of the colony as they can, but as the time is just slowly ticking
just
away.
falling apart.
Yeah, as just destruction everywhere, and then it would just end on a very like somber like moment, and so anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
to me,
really
it's less of a no, it's fine. To me, it's less of a disaster movie. Like disaster movie, I think implies that like the events that are happening are outside of the characters in the movie's control. Like,
so more like Independence Day.
Yeah, like it's more of just like it's more of a big block. It's a big budget blockbuster sci-fi action epic that's rooted in the military, but where the good guys they lose, definitively lose. Like I think that's awesome.
And then you could kind of put a stinger of of the Pillar of Autumn jumping away, and that's the setup for Halo, the actual Halo movie.
Yeah, I think I would make it a trilogy, right? Like I think the first one would be The Fall of Reach. And except like so in the original Star Wars trilogy, the darkest movie and the most like poignant one is definitely Empire. And that's the second movie in the trilogy. For me, it would be the first one is Fall of Reach.
Yeah.
Then the second one
like
is just called...
it's an ascent, right? Like you have that Fall of Reach, and it really, I think it would do a beautiful job of setting up the Covenant as this huge I mean, the way it was when we first played, the Covenant wasn't this like intricate, well-developed, we know everything about everything in the Covenant now. At the time, we were like, what the fuck is the Covenant? It's just oppressing thing that spreads across the galaxy and kills everybody.
Exactly.
And then in Halo, the second movie, you would learn more about the Covenant. Maybe it's two perspectives. You're following, much like the book tried to do, you're following Chief through his journey, but then you're also kind of seeing what else is
like
playing
Halo 2?
out.
I don't know if I do two perspectives, but I would definitely do I would definitely do The Fall of Reach as the first movie. I would do the second one is the Chief, and it's just it's got like that's what it is. It's Chief's last struggle. It's basically like Halo 1. Yeah, establishing who the Covenant are, establishing his role in the war, and then the third movie is the actual like big war.
Yeah, and that's Halo 2 and 3. Halo the first half of 3 was supposed to be the end of Halo 2. Like Chief gets to Earth, and then there's this big showdown or whatever, and then I think the arc and all that was supposed to be what Halo 3 was, and they cut a lot of that short. Like when you get to the arc, you get there and you blow it up, and that's it. Like you don't really get to explore the story of what is the arc and why is it here and who made it and the librarian and Mendicant bias and all this stuff. It's all way in the background. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You're just like, man, this is real pretty. There's a Milky Way galaxy. Well, shoot these guys. Let's go. And I think that would play really well, having Halo and Halo 2 be the finale. Like the story of Halo 2, Covenant getting to Earth is the finale. Like it gets to Earth and then there's the big showdown.
Yeah, like I'm not even sure I would follow.
Would you put the Flood in a Halo movie? I guess that's a big question.
I don't know. So that was what I was going to say. Is like I'm not exactly sure on how I would treat the story in terms of the plot, right, of the games, because like I think one of the big mistakes that video game adaptation movies do is they try to incorporate what happens in the game into the story, and I feel like. Yeah, I mean, not necessarily beat for beat, but sometimes, even if you want to have big story moments that happen in the game happen in the movie.
It's like, Resident Evil. You got to have a dog jump through a window.
Yeah, like it can be contrived and it may seem out of place. Like what I would love to do is kind of like really kind of maybe play through the games again and really develop a good sense of like what is the main story here and condense it and then focus it down on just that and kind of cut all the nonsense out of there. And well, I don't know where I fall on whether or not the Flood is nonsense, but like that's something I'd have to look at,
Sure. I mean, I think the Flood. Obviously, we're all armchair quarterback, like retros. Like we got 2020 on how everything has played out. But I think for Bungie, if they had kind of done this on purpose or had a way to do it again, the Flood would have been introduced in like a follow-up sequel or a follow-up trilogy. Like you have the battle of the human versus the Covenant, and there's these rumors and these hints at the Forerunner, and then you have a trilogy of like you're not even chief. You're freaking born stellar, and you're back in the Forerunner days, and you're learning of the history of the Flood, and you're also learning about the Forerunner without having to do it with the Human Covenant conflict, like, you know, in the shot at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, you try to focus on these things and give them their just dues. And then, like, the follow-up to all that is then when you bring it all together. You have the Human, the Covenant, they're quarreling, and now here's the Flood, and you know why they're there and what they are and all that, instead of having to introduce them and explain all this shit all at the same time. In a video game, you have 40 hours to do that. In a movie, you have like an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
Because after an hour and a half, you need to stop explaining things and just resolve it. So.
Without the Flood, you kind of remove the need for Halo, though, for there being a Halo.
Well, so that's the thing is, like...
Mystery. It's still mystery. That was the beauty of the first Halo game. It was so mysterious. You had no clue where you were or what you were doing, and that's okay.
I think the Flood is certainly key to the story of Halo. I just don't know exactly if what I make the main sort of conflict about, the Grave Mine. Because to me, like, that's not really the conflict of Halo, right? Like, maybe in a sequel or maybe later on, but, like, I don't know. To me, it's very much the Human Covenant War, but with the tone of later, and the like, with the tone of the Deliver Hope trailer, but with the scope of Halo 3.
Yeah.
Have you played the Halo Wars, the Halo War game?
Yeah, I played Halo Wars. I think it's probably the best RTS on consoles.
Oh, hands down, yeah.
I think so.
I like it.
Also,
had real cool cutscenes.
Oh God,
awesome.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
That honestly, the legacy for me of Halo Wars is that's the first time I've ever seen a Spartan act like a Spartan.
Yeah, it was super
You know
cool.
what I mean? Like in Halo 1, you're flipping over warthogs with your mind, and you're jumping like 50 feet in the air, and that makes you kind of Spartan-y. But not until now with Halo 5 have I ever felt like a Spartan. You know, where I'm just can just charge through badasses and I just destroy guys and, you know, really go toe to toe with some from the knights and everything. I mean, it's just like you feel like a Spartan, like a super soldier now. But that was the first time I'd ever seen it. Like it's a great game, but I think we're gonna have to see where they go with Halo Wars 2. All right, so this is the end of the show. I think we're gonna wrap this. It's been a very long show, and I appreciate, Sean, your patience, and appreciate anybody who's still listening.
Everybody listens to the end.
At this point.
I think
so.
should.
I
mean,
right.
this was a special case. I mean,
yeah, we wanted to give you guys
a
big Christmas
It's
present
a holiday.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Holiday episode, all that stuff.
Hell yeah. All right, so I think that's gonna do it. Was there anything for the community before we go, Oran?
I mean, once this movie kind of wraps up and like the actual holidays come, I'm gonna plug back in. I have a few more polls that I have in queue, so to speak.
Sure, for January.
I loved, well, even for the end of the month too. I want to hear what people's reactions are to the cartographer's gifts. So I might do like a reaction kind of message board, so to speak, and maybe we'll share that. I was thinking maybe whatever our next episode is. So I got some stuff in store. So look out on our Facebook, and I'm gonna try to start pushing the page and Twitter for the coming weeks.
Sweet.
So that's all I got.
Sweet. All right. Well, thank you again, Sean. Appreciate your time, and I'm glad we finally got it to work.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad to be on the show. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. And thanks to you for tuning in and supporting us all year. We've had a great year. 2015 has been fucking amazing, the year of the Halos. And we will look forward to chatting with you guys next year. So I think the next show is going to be the first weekend after the new year, because I'm pretty sure New Year's Day is like Saturday, right?
I think so.
It's like a Saturday or Sunday. Anyways,
I couldn't tell you.
The first weekend in January, I think we'll try to shoot for just recording.
Yeah, that's a January 3rd.
Nah, the one after that.
Yeah, the one after.
All right,
Let's
January
do the one after.
10th.
Yeah.
January 10th.
So look for us the second week of January, and we will see you guys next year. We love you all. Check us out at ratedmgaming.com/aboutevolved, and we are out. Evolved.
Evolved.